Jika benar ini cinta, mulai dari mana? Oh dari mana? Dari matamu, matamu mulai jatuh cinta. Ku melihat ada banyak.
All the stars and planets move so gracefully through space. It's all thanks to something called Kawecki's bubble. According to Kawecki, it's this incredible bubble that sets the universe in motion. Imagine the universe as a gigantic cosmic dance floor. Without this bubble, the stars and planets would be standing still. No groovy moves at all. So, how does it work? Kawecki's bubble exerts an energy content that translates to a whopping 450,000 miles per second squared. That's like having a sports car that can accelerate to 450,000 miles per second in an instant. This energy gives the universe its push velocity, driving everything forward. Now picture all the galaxies as dancers on this cosmic floor. The bubble's powerful push force keeps them gliding smoothly, stabilizing them at a uniform rate of 43 miles per second. This keeps our universe's momentum steady and balanced. In simpler terms, Kawecki's bubble is the ultimate cosmic engine. It ensures that the universe doesn't just sit around doing nothing, but instead keeps expanding and moving with grace and precision. So the next time you gaze up at the night sky, remember it's Kawecki's bubble that's making the universe groove. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep exploring the cosmos with us. Ever wonder how galaxies and energy shape our universe? Let's dive into this cosmic dance. So, Newton's theory of universal gravity gives us a solid foundation. But when we zoom out to the scale of galaxies, things get really interesting. Imagine this. Galaxies aren't just floating around randomly. They interact with each other through gravitational pull. This creates what we call galactica energy. It's basically the force of attraction between galaxies. Now, when these galaxies pull on each other, they form a sort of bubble-like center in the universe. It's like a cosmic dance, where each galaxy contributes to the overall structure. But here's the kicker, this interaction generates a magnetic pole center. Think of it as the 0 point of gravitation. It's a point where the gravitational forces balance out, creating a center of calm in the chaos. So, as these galaxies dance in harmony, they form this bubble. And within this bubble, the energy and gravitational forces create a balanced, stable environment. It's fascinating to think about how these massive structures interact and shape the universe as we know it. Alright, that's a quick dive into how galaxies and energy shape our universe. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-blowing science. Until next time, keep looking up.
Hi, my name is Rod Kawecki. I'm a theorist, theoretical science. My expertise is space travel. The same expertise as Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton and Aristotle and all them late scientists. Erwin Hubble with the Hubble expansion. And my theory expands on universe expansion. Not so much about the galaxies, but the force behind it. With that, I have accumulated a lot of new information. You could say I have revised space travel into a new era. You know, there's a lot of things in physics, when you read them or research them, it's like old news. The platform is in the public. And what I mean by that is the controversy is the real deal, even though it's not written. It's written differently in theoretical ideas and literature. My book kind of like updates it. It takes that public format and puts it on paper. See, a lot of physics was written by the research of other people's invention or ideas or theoretical ideas. And the formulas and equations are evaluations of that theoretical idea that was written on paper. What I've written is vaguely, like I said, it's public novice. It's not in the books, let's say. And my research and entrepreneurship is to bring it out into the open again, but on paper. If you go and read books about science, you read, well, the earth was flat, and if you go back and read it, the earth is flat. It wasn't until later that they learned that it was not flat, it was round. Well, I've done that with space literature, space science. We have a vacuum. 0-point vacuum means absent of energy. And vacuum means that there's no life-living elements in space. You cannot do what you do here on Earth in space, unless you're in a ship. And the science is different. Now, without putting any discrepancies on anybody, relativity is a theory based on earth science. But what relativity did is take that earth science and put it in space. And it don't work that way. The same barriers or red flags about gravity do not apply to space, even though his literature, relativity, asserts that. And that's where people get confused. And the ideas have to be out of the box. In other words, if you keep reading, you're going to come up with the same ideas. If you do the research with the public format, it's different. Is traveling faster than light speed possible? Relativity says it's not, no matter what. You take two piles of energy, and they're both the same. That energy has a capacity to travel at the speed of light. Even though there's two piles of energy, they're the same. So you take the earth science and say this is one pile of energy and the speed of light is limited. You can't travel faster than the speed of light. But he doesn't conform to the idea like Isaac Newton did and took that earth energy, put it in the other pile, and you have twice as much energy. According to relativity, that's not possible. That's not true. Isaac Newton calls that dual acceleration. Twice as much energy, force, will allow you to go twice as fast. Relativity states, but space is conformed with the speed of light. And that's the reason that he took earth science and related it to space science as in the same anomaly of his research. This is the flaw of relativity. Now, in 1925, when Albert Einstein or Edwin Hubble discovered the universe was expanding, Albert Einstein debunked himself. So light is not constant, but we have an ever-expanding universe. The research Edwin Hubble did on space expansion is a basic science. He never went into the conformity of how much energy it would take for the force of space to separate the galaxies. In my research, I did that. And I actually found a engineering application that proves this point. And this is why when we look at relativity and we look at the two piles of energy and dual acceleration, they all conform on a new format of space travel. We're not limited to the speed of light, even though relativity makes this assertion. But there's no educational format that explains the differences of what we know now in space, about space travel, the vacuum itself. The explanations in science seem to be over-exaggerated that conceals the truth, the basics of it. I mean, Einstein says we're limited to the speed of light, yet he says time travel is possible. But we got to do this and we got to do that, and this is we got to bend space. I don't know how you're going to bend space, and the friction of a spaceship traveling at the speed of light relative, trying to make the Earth travel backwards, or taking all that energy and putting it on the ship, that even though we don't make the Earth travel backwards, that's the floor mat, but it's based on the speed of light, which are confusing, very confusing. I would say that it's not possible. I mean, if we got a whole universe and we're trying to make something go backwards relative to velocity and that energy, you got to make the whole universe do that, because it's all interconnected. The whole galaxy is. So I find that unreasonable. Of course, in 1915, 1910, the open-mindedness of society was unconclusional, let's say, that you could take your imagination and run with it, and the public would run with you. They would follow you. Anyways, this is I've written over 15 books over the last 25 years, basically trying to explain this, what I've been talking about, space travel and the imagination, and trying to reverse that conflict. And that's what you're going to find if you read my books. They are scientifically implied. You could read it with an understanding of it, but it's a scientific reading journey if you do. But you take those red flags of confusion about space travel and the red flags that it has put up about the speed of light. I tell you exactly that why it's not true, like what I've just explained in this video. I open up a whole new door. If you look at my videos on YouTube, you know, my videos are basic. They're conformed with reasonable faith. I try to go through the explanation. The explanations on YouTube are more easier to understand than probably reading it in the book, because we get confused about the speed of light. What does light have to do with space travel? You know, you turn the light on, you turn it off, and this is Einstein's thinking. The speed of light is the speed of light. Can't change that. Well, who said we wanted to? You know, it's only a light bulb. And so I take you on a different journey on space travel. A lot of, when you do a illustration on YouTube or on video, the outcome is what I'm talking about. It's based on public novice. It's not what's written in the books, even though those hurdles come up as part of what we learned from that period and from relativity. And what is the speed of light? And so a lot of your videos and stimulations are based on those chronicles of space travel. But behind the scenes, in the background, they're using a different format, the actual format of what's really happening in space, in its history, in its element and environment. But the hurdles about space travel come up, what relativity says, and like I says, at one time someone said the Earth is flat. Well, you know, evidence shows that it's not. But that's a hurdle we have to go through to find out. As we became more open-minded over the years, we found out it's not, and we proved it. We found evidence. And that's what I put out in my books, the new evidence, the evidence that compiles this illustration of space travel. I just want to put this video out, let people know. My books are available on Amazon. I just put out a new one. It's based on EVG, which is expanse vacuum gravity. In other words, how the universe works, what it is, how it's conformed, what are the elements that come out. In the Bible, of course, that's creation. In science, that is relativity. Or Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton, the way they did things, explained things in those days, boy, it's something else. My name is Rod Kowicki. Thank you.